Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Naruto chapter 662. And unfortunately, this chapter starts off with Sasuke not using substitution jutsu. He doesn't turn into crows either. It's one of the two. Those two things were the things I wanted to see. Him doing at least one of those. None of them happened though because people don't remember that substitution jutsu is an actual thing. Um, it's like the only well, no, never mind. I was about to go off on a tangent. Never mind. um, yeah, Sasuke ends up just getting dominated by Madara. He starts to walk away, but then he starts to come back later on in the episode to finish him off because he sees that Sasuke is still moving around. Um, we see this giant like Hashirama thousand hand idol type of thing. He it's like the same thing he summoned back in his fight against Madara to go up against the Susanoo armored Kurama. Except it's probably smaller though. I would assume. Um, it was summoned by Zetsu though. The same Zetsu that was in Obito's flashback, the spiral one that acted as like his armor, I guess, when he went to go save Kakashi and Rin. And he's still making those freaking poop jokes. Like, why does Kishimoto think this is funny? It's not. Seriously. But, yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, where's this guy been? Like, why can't, what? Like, since when do Zetsu, since when can Zetsu do that? Like, why haven't all the other Zetsu been doing that, though? That's, like, he uses all five changes in chakra nature, too. Like Hiruzen's literally the only guy who can counter them because he's the only one not running out of chakra, which is stupid because all of them have Naruto's chakra surrounding them. How can they be running out of chakra? But whatever. Um, I guess they're running out of that. No, they're not because it's not like it's getting smaller. The ore is getting smaller. It's not. It's the same freaking size. The only one who actually can say that they're running out of chakra is Sakura, because she actually uses up the entire cloak and all of her actual chakra trying to save Naruto. Wow, I'm just skipping around skipping around though now. One of the theories that's out there, I feel like half the people saying this are just saying it as a joke, but it might actually be true. Um, that like you remember how, like I mentioned before, the Spiral Zetsu, he went around, like not around Obito, but he like got on. I don't want to say he got on top of Obito, but like he acted as like armor for Obito, right? So he can engulf people and like you know what I mean, okay? You know what I mean, right? The theory, a theory that's out there is that he did that again, but the person inside of him, the person inside of him is Yamato. So that would explain why this guy can use Earth style like that, like Hashirama can, since he's a freaking Hashirama clone. Um, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he's got nothing else to do. Like, just sit down underground for another 500 chapters. I mean, seriously. I mean, it makes sense to me. So I guess I support that theory that it might be Yamato. But yeah. Like I mentioned before, it can use all five changes in chakra nature. Hiruzen is the only one who can actually counter it with like clones and everything, that was pretty cool. I thought that was cool. Um, like I said, everyone's running out of chakra. Even Tsunade, Shizune, and Sakura are running low. Sakura is of the opinion that they should stop healing and just focus on attack because they don't really have enough chakra. Like it probably takes well, probably I'm 99.9% sure it takes less chakra to have their like super strength than it does to actually heal somebody. Pretty sure about that. All right, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it before they just run out completely, they should focus on attacking. That's what Sakura thinks, which makes sense. Um, though technically, the only people who are, according to Tsunade's rules for medical ninja, the only medical ninja who are allowed to go into the front lines are ninja who excuse me, ninja who have mastered the Byakugo seal. So Tsunade and Sakura can go, but Shizune has to sit there and wait. Um, yeah. So what happens after that? Orochimaru, Jugo, Suigetsu, and Kari. Right. Those guys are kind of hiding. They're they're watching the Zetsu, and Orochimaru says that enemy, like he figured something out, or like he has a plan or something like that. So that also uh, that also gives credit to the idea that it might be Yamato under there, since Yamato was kind of created by Orochimaru. Also, Karin realizes what's going on with Sasuke right now and that he's dying. Ino realizes something as well. I don't know, maybe she was like using her telepathy or whatever to like reading people's minds, if she can even do that. But she can transfer thoughts, but I don't know if she can legitimately read people's minds. Um, but she realized something. Kiba smelled Naruto getting closer because Gaara was bringing him in on a sand cloud. And he not the sprints towards him, trying to make it to him because she uses her Byakugan to see like that he's not doing too well. And she sprints over, but she trips and falls. I haven't seen that in a long time in Naruto. Someone being a klutz and just tripping and falling. Actually, I haven't seen that in a while in just anime in general. I'm surprised. It's usually something you see all the time. But whatever. She wants to protect Naruto, just like Neji asked her to. So that's, I mean, we already know what Hinata's willing to do for Naruto. We already know this. Pain's invasion. Enough said. I mean, we already know what she's willing to do. Now we're kind of getting to see what Sakura's willing to do as well, because at the end of this chapter we see her trying to heal Naruto. She gets in the sand cloud, and Gaara's taking both her and Naruto, I guess, to where Madara is, because he wants her to heal him on the way. But we see that before she left, she had the cloak. Now that she's on the cloud, she doesn't have the cloak anymore. So that means she's used up all of Naruto's chakra trying to heal him, or Kurama's chakra. Used up all of Kurama's chakra trying to heal him. Plus, you can see the chakra aura. I guess you can see it's starting to shrink. So she's using up a lot of her chakra too. So there's nothing she can really do to save Naruto. A common theory out there is that Sakura's going to do like a Granny Chio type of thing to like literally give her life to Naruto. Um, I think that would be really good development for Sakura, just building up to her making the decision to give her life for Naruto, because Naruto is, how can I say this? The only people who have legitimately who have sacrificed their lives for Naruto, people who have decided that his life was worth saving, and they were willing to give their own life to save it, were Iruka in like chapter 1, Sasuke in the Land of Waves, and we all know what happened there. When that was the first time someone Naruto's age had actually given enough craps about him to actually do something nice for him, let alone save his life, let alone give their own life to save his, right? So, imagine what would happen if Sakura did the same thing. Jeez. Who else? Not really Nagato, but kind of. Technically, he gave his life for Naruto, but not like to save his, to save others. But it was still technically for him. I think that's it. I don't think Jiraiya ever legitimately sacrificed himself to save Naruto. Well, I mean, I guess you could say during the time skip when he undid the seal a little bit and he got that mark on his chest. I mean, no, not really. Not really. No, yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is that it would be great development for Sakura and Naruto if she just building up to her decision on whether or not to sacrifice her own life for him. Which we don't even know if she can do that because, like I said, she's running low on chakra. So does she even have enough? You know. Um, Maybe she has some other type of jutsu where, because Chio's jutsu doesn't work unless the person's dead already, I think, because Gara was dead already. So, because it was technically a reanimation jutsu. So maybe Sakura developed her own jutsu that works when the person's still alive. But I don't. Either way, I want Sakura to actually make the decision to sacrifice her life for Naruto. I want Kishin to kind of build up that decision with flashbacks, good flashbacks, okay? Not just flashbacks for the sake of flashbacks like he usually does. Good, relevant flashbacks that shows her interactions with Naruto and how her opinion of him changed throughout the years, right? All building up to her making the decision to give her life for him. However, I don't need her to actually die. The two of them would get the development just from her making the decision to do it. She doesn't need to actually die to do it. Sasuke is the perfect example. He didn't actually die in the Land of Waves, but Naruto still stopped hating him. So I mean, like, you don't. She doesn't need to actually die. She just needs to make the decision to die and show that she is prepared for that. Like Hinata did. Hinata didn't actually die, but she showed she was prepared to in order to help Naruto and save him. Right. So what I want to happen is for Sakura to actually make that decision to sacrifice her life, then maybe have Minato show up and say, no, 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 the fact that you care this much about my son, he can't, you are special, you're a special person to him, and he can't afford to lose you. You need to stay alive. So then he gives Naruto his half of Kurama's chakra, but I don't know if that'll actually work because it's just the chakra, it's not Kurama himself. Naruto has Kurama himself, or had Kurama himself sealed inside of him, as well as half of the chakra. It's not like there are two nine-tailed foxes. I mean, it looks that way with the dark Kurama that's inside the yin or the yang? The yang. Kurama that's inside of Minato, but it's really not. That's just a manifestation of the chakra, I guess you could say, because it doesn't make sense for the Nine Tails itself to be split in half, though technically the tailed beasts are chakra beasts. So who knows? I originally thought that it was the former thing that I said, the first thing, that it's just Kurama and then the chakra. Kurama is legitimately still inside of Naruto. Half the chakra was added in with that, and Minato only has the chakra. But the fact that the tail beasts are chakra beasts does mean that technically, I guess, they could be split in half. I hate to refer to a freaking filler arc in the anime. That arc was Sora. Yeah, screw that. I'm not even, no, no. That's a load. That arc's a load of crap. So we're freaking starting to transform into a nine-tailed complete now. That arc was a load of crap. I still watched it. See, I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not with me. Naruto's going to get saved somehow, some way. So I mean, same thing with Sasuke too. Maybe Karin's going to go over there. Oh, actually no. Sasuke has that jutsu that Hashirama taught him, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe he gave Sasuke some of his cells, and then he's going to get the Rinnegan, and who knows? Well, he has Hashirama's chakra. Well, no, that chakra and cells are two completely different things. Yeah, I mean, both of them are going to get saved. I'm just hoping it gets done well in a way that can develop Sakura, because Sakura, being a medical ninja, being a doctor, she's meant for support. She's not even supposed to go into the front lines. Medical, excuse me, medical ninja are so important that they're not supposed to go into the front lines. People call her useless all the time. I don't understand why. Because she doesn't have fights. I mean, she's not supposed to have fights. She's a freaking doctor. You don't send doctors to the front lines. No, it doesn't make sense, right? I don't see how people could call a doctor useless, especially when they're one of the best doctors in the series. That's beyond me. I don't get it. It goes beyond common sense to me, but whatever. I just want Sakura to get some development from this, and just to like be able to show that she is there for Naruto. Finally admit her feelings to herself, because the five Hokage stuff, I don't count that. I don't count that. That was Sakura being stupid. She fake confessed to Naruto to try to take advantage of his feelings for her in order to manipulate him into doing what she wanted, which sounds really freaking evil. and I know her intentions were not that evil, but it's still technically what she did. So yeah, but yeah, there's only one other thing to talk about in this chapter, and that's Sasuke, his thoughts as he's trying to get the will and the strength to stand back up to face Madara. He ends up saying that he wants to make a true village and show people what a true Kage is. All right, I love that line. I love that line because people always say another thing that people always get wrong. I don't know why they get this wrong. People always say that Sasuke, he always changes his goal and he doesn't know what he wants. I don't see that at all. You can go back to the chapter, the very like the second or third chapter, whichever chapter it was, where Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi had that little meeting. They were talking about their goals, and Sasuke's sitting there like this, and he says that his goal is to avenge and restore his clan. That's what his goal has always been. That's what his goal is right now. That's never changed. I don't see why people think it does. It has. It doesn't. The only things that change are what Sasuke needs to do to avenge his clan. At first, he needed to defeat Itachi in order to avenge his clan, but then he realized no, it's the guy. There were guys behind the scenes pulling the strings. It's Danzo, Homura, Hiruzen, and Homura's spouse, whatever. I don't even remember. Um, what's her freaking name? Who cares? The Leaf Elders, all right? So then his goal became, to defeat them because that's what he needs to do in order to avenge his clan, all right? Like, it's not like his goal itself changed. It's just what he needed to do to accomplish his goal changed because he was thrown a curveball. Like, let's say your goal is let's say you're a football player and your goal is to play in the Superdome, I don't know, but a hurricane hits the Superdome and it gets destroyed. Now you can never play there. Just like then you change your goal to I want to play in the new stadium in New Orleans. Like, that's a bad example because then the goal legitimately can't happen anymore. But you get the point, all right. You get the point. Let's say your goal is to play in New Orleans for the Saints, all right. All right. You want to play in the Superdome. Superdome gets destroyed. New one gets built there. You still accomplish your goal. You just need to do it slightly differently. All right, like people think his goal changes. It doesn't, and they forget about the restore part of his goal. He wants to restore his clan too. People wonder why he wants to become Hokage. Why do you think? Because he wants to restore his clan. What else is he supposed to do? Make his own village like Orochimaru? There's no way that's gonna fly. He's new Uchiha. he he's not like Orochimaru who he can just like go wherever he wants and stay in like secretive and no one's ever gonna find him. Sasuke is an Uchiha. He there's nowhere he can go unless it's with Orochimaru where he's not going to be found. Or Toby because Toby is just Toby. But you know, so he needs to become Hokage. He needs to instead of making his own village, he'll go back to the Leaf. But as soon as he goes there, they're going to be persecuting him and his clan once he starts restored. So what else can he do but become Hokage to protect himself and to protect the clan that he's going to restore? All right, this is not hard. All right, it's really not. All right, people make fun of his goal all the time, say it changes, blah blah blah. Doesn't make sense for him to want to become Hokage. Well, sorry, but it does. All right, it does. All right, and that's why I love this line that he says because it shows that right he wants to make a true village and show people what a true Kage is. All right, like I watched Joe Ten's review and he mentioned something similar about how like all the Kages except for Minato have shown they've made big mistakes at some point or another. All the current Kage have made big mistakes at some point or another. But he wants to show all of them and all the villagers what a true Kage is. You know, so I like that line. It actually lets you know he's not a bad character like most people think he is. But yeah, wow, this is really freaking, oh wow, much longer than I thought it'd be. Um, yeah, there was this one line that Mater said, I forgot the exact words, but it referenced Sasuke's eyes, and it kind of goes back to what Madara was saying not too long ago, maybe a few chapters ago or so, when Madara was looking in Sasuke's eyes and talking about the specific type of Tomoe he had, and it had something to do with like how Sasuke's past influenced his abilities or something like that. That was a good line too. So yeah, overall, I'll give this chapter an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good chapter. It wasn't like the most exciting chapter ever, but the way things were executed, that was really good. So I'm not even including the whole Sakura might get major development thing. That's just something I'm hoping for in the future. But I'm not even including that in the rating. I'm just including what actually happened in this chapter. So yeah, I thought while what happened in this chapter wasn't the most wasn't terribly exciting, it was still executed very, very well. So yeah, I'll give this chapter an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good. That's it for now, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Oh, by the way, Naruto's off next week. No chapter, which is disappointing because I want to see what happens next. I can guarantee you I'm not feeling that way about Bleach and One Piece right now. You can figure that out later on when I put those reviews up. Right? See you guys next time.